Stop blaming yourself.
Why, though?
Stop blaming yourself, Steve.
I had a horrible vision and I didn't eat for 8 days, but stop blaming yourself, even though you totally took me into that possession.
Stop blaming yourself.
Also, I'm going to be a little passive-aggressive here. There's no sugar in my fucking tea.
Could use a little sugar.
Honestly, honey, it's been 15 years. Learn how to make my goddamn tea right. I know I'm the clairvoyant, but it's common fucking sense.
2 spoonfuls. What do I always tell you? Always put in 1, and I always want 2.
God, I literally beam the vision of sugar into your fucking head every morning, and yet you still forget.
I scratched it into the wallpaper.
Ed, I swear to God, you're lucky I gave you a kid. My God.
I spelled out 2 spoonfuls on the spines of the books on our bookshelf, okay?
It scares us just thinking about it. When you hear it, you're gonna think we're insane.
Try us. Please, from the start.
But we prefer to be known simply as Ed and Loraine.
Wanna play hide and
Why do bad things happen to good people? That's the real question, right? Why us?
Who's that?
We didn't ask for this. We didn't deserve it.
Bathsheba! By the power of God, I condemn you back to hell!
I don't know. Let's conjure up some views with this banger of an episode here.
Welcome.
I've got a boner.
to every film in the book. This week.
I must hide I must
Let's
hide my
the
bones
shame.
and shame.
You're lucky you don't have skin or you'd be blushing right now.
Oh,
I'm blushing.
I am on the inside really bad.
What were you saying, Danielle? Welcoming?
Yes, welcoming to
Welcome.
The Conjuring.
We are conjuring up some good vibes and some bony tales for you today.
I'm feeling extra creepy with my doll eyes. So I'm just going to stare into the camera with really wide eyes.
Like a doll's eyes.
Yes.
The blackest eyes.
And if you're listening to this, go to YouTube and watch our podcast.
Also, if you're listening to this and you've seen this movie, who would ever actually invite this doll into your house? Like, if I saw that at a store, I'd be like, excuse me, store clerk. That is obviously a demon.
Right, because it wasn't.
Can I get 10% off?
Like, it's not one of those ones where it's in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Then when it crosses the threshold, then you see all.
Yeah,
the,
Right.
like it doesn't like slowly start breaking apart
Right.
throughout the movie. It's
Like,
just that.
It starts creepy and then it gets possessed.
It's like our doll's possessed, and like Ed is just sitting there like, yeah, no shit. Like, have you seen the thing?
Look at
It's
it.
in the fine print of what you can possess. It's like number 49. It was like, thing must already be
This
20%
specific
creepy.
doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yes, it is The Conjuring. We are continuing spooky month.
It is spooky month.
It is our happy
Haunted
time.
Halloween,
Haunted
Ooh.
Halloween.
as we're calling
Is that
it.
what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are the Haunted Halloween.
It's the
this
haunted
year.
Halloween.
Yeah.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And spoiler alert, I freaking love this movie. So don't expect me to badmouth it this week.
We, of course, always will, give you the full opinion on everything, but this one is a good one. There's like a few funny things here and there, but for the most part, it's a very solid movie. And if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Why are you watching this channel if you haven't seen it?
And also, it's like
It's Halloween. Go
yeah,
watch the haunted
go watch
house
the
movie.
freaking haunted house movie.
Mm.
It's one of the only good ones.
Yeah, seriously. I remember seeing this in theaters, and it was so good. I called my friends and was like, hey, what are you doing in like an hour? You got to meet me at the movie theater.
There's
I got to
another
go see
showing,
this
yeah.
again.
Yeah, and speaking of haunted house, there's also the haunted house parody of this movie.
Oh my
which
God.
is hilarious but disturbing.
I will never be able to unsee that man having just disgusting sex with this Annabelle doll.
Oh, we weren't supposed to like it?
Michael's like, I watch that every week. What are you talking about?
What?
Oh God.
Oh no, but seriously, this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, modern horror movies. Like, I go back to this as many times as humanly possible, just because it still gives me chills. Like, there's still certain scenes in this movie that literally put me on edge.
And there's some stuff where we're like, all right, guy. Like, there's that in every one. But this is like an actual. I feel like we say this way too much. This was actually a movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was like you can call this one a film and no one's gonna laugh at you.
Right.
Like, it's an actual film, and it doesn't stick. It does a lot of the haunted house stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how many different things can you really do in a haunted house?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it does some different things, and it's creepy. And again, there's like 15 kids in this family. It's
There's
like,
always have to be like a large number of children involved.
no dolls, no children. You're probably good. You can buy whatever house you want.
Yeah,
You're
seriously.
fine.
You won't get haunted as long as you don't have 5 eerily creepy daughters and invite a weird, obviously possessed doll into your house.
And it's one of those horror movies where you're not sitting there kind of like bored. It's like everything is captivating and there's no lulls. It just kind of continuously bringing up more stuff. And
Yeah, and we were saying it last night when we were watching it, but like, this movie does jump scares correctly, where it'll start your spooky scene, or it'll start your scene with, like, you know, almost like a fake out jump scare.
Right.
And then the scene then continues to get more scary. And it's not just like a quick little, "Bah!" All right, moving on.
Like The Haunting in Connecticut, there were a few of those.
Yeah.
Where it was just a jump scare for a jump scare's sake, and it had no connection to what was happening in that scene.
It doesn't push the story. It's not that scary. And then you're like, oh, it's the wall.
Yeah.
No, nothing continued. Nothing happened to the wall.
Damn it, Ted.
Oh,
Why
it's-
are you getting
it's
pizza
the
at
wall.
10 a.m.? You scared me.
Oh, no. Something totally normal. Thanks for putting that sharp sound.
Yeah.
And it's like, now for the actual jump scare, I'm not going to give a shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And it also does a good job at making sure that the haunted things that happen are connected to the actual spirits or the demons that
There's-
are haunting the
There's a
house.
There's a purpose to why, like, they knock all the pictures off. Well, that's not.
It's
her,
because
that's not her family.
Yeah, it's
like
because the
don't-
demon
yeah.
doesn't want to see your face on the wall, and it's like
it's
screw
her house.
It's somebody's
demon.
house.
I don't
It's
know.
the demon's
the
house.
demon lady. Are there still a lady after they become a demon, or is there?
It's a lady
just an
demon.
ambiguous demon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she still looked like a lady demon. I mean, like a witch demon.
Witch demon.
I don't know if that's like a classification.
Yeah, I thought technically demons are spirits that have never been alive,
Oh yeah.
but
Oh right.
like a spirit.
So they
is
might
like a
not even
human
be what we would think as
a classic demon. But I mean, it's a very demon possession story.
Oh yeah.
There's an exorcism involved.
Oh god, and Patrick Wilson.
Yeah. What a hunk
Starts
of a man.
out in Latin, then they go, "Who's going to be watching this? Oh, Americans. Let's switch to English now, please."
Patrick Wilson is really, really bad at Latin.
And
Can we switch?
Unlike the other people you'll see on the internet bash a movie for that, it's like, no, I'm not trying to read subtitles during the exorcism scene because I'm supposed to be looking around the room.
Yeah, there's
and
freaky
enjoying
stuff
the film.
happening.
Yeah.
I don't want to be reading where the freaky stuff happens.
Yeah.
But speaking of freaky stuff, so this movie opens with like literally the close up on the Annabelle doll's face. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to see that. I just started this. I was in a good mood and now I'm fucking creeped out. I get the chills.
Yeah, something about like the cheekbones and like the way her eyes are like smirking at you a little bit. It like she gives off the expression of like, yeah, I already did some shit.
Yeah.
You can tell.
It's like round 487.
But we get the story of the Annabelle, and you kind of get introduced to the Warrens in this, where they're They get called to this person's house. They've been experiencing some creepy stuff because, of course, they let a creepy doll into their house. And they come back from a fun night out to just see some little kid is drawn all over their walls in crayon. But, of course, it's the creepy fucking doll. Again, why would you let this thing in your house? It's pretty much screaming, I will fuck up your day. Like, don't invite me in.
Yeah, and so these people who are unrelated to the story the rest of the time, they invite this demon that's in their house into the doll, which is a big no-no. Just saying, if you ever have a demon in your house, don't invite it into anything.
No, it needs permission.
Yeah.
It's
Don't
like a
give
vampire. Come on.
This is where consent is bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that right while you were drinking.
Yeah, sorry. No,
Consent
you got me.
is bad in this instance. 99% of the time, consent is great and lawful. This time, don't let it in. Don't give it consent.
Of all the things, don't let this thing in.
Yeah.
And that's like a general, like, 'cause how many times in movies, you're like, don't take him, take me.
Yeah.
And the demon just looks, it's like,
All right.
Yeah.
all right, you're a foot taller and like 50 pounds heavier than the little girl I was trying to possess. I
it's
can
like-
hurt so many more people with a 6'4" athlete man's
it's
body.
literally
Thanks.
like, I spent the whole movie chasing after her, but,
You're
whatever, I'll
just
take what I
gonna
can get. I have no ambition, fuck it.
But the one thing I do have a question here.
Answer.
So it's the demon's like house or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And something, she doesn't want anybody else there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if they leave, like they explain in the movie, they're like, no, it's like something, and it stays with you.
Oh, yeah, it like latches on
It
you.
latches onto you and goes with you. But I'm like, yeah, but like, what if you left but didn't take the doll?
How would it latch on?
How would
Yeah.
yeah. So it was like you just see this big zoom out shot, and Annabelle's just walking down the street with the hobo stick, and
Yeah.
it's like, what are you doing?
It's
I'm
like,
trying to
"Hey."
latch back on.
Oh my god, like the sad music from The Incredible Hulk starts playing as she's trying to like hitchhike to the next house. Hi, I'll possess you for free. Possess you for a hot meal.
Well, so they decide to throw out the doll.
Yeah, but that
when
never works.
Yeah, when the doll starts acting creepy.
Yeah.
And it does make its way back home. So Annabelle can walk, I guess.
Yeah, she's got like a Fitbit. It's like, oh sweet, 12,000 steps
I
today.
need to get
Oh,
my
I did
steps
good.
in. Put me
Can
back
you-
outside.
Can you imagine like going up the stairwell and like passing Annabelle just like
Evening.
Evening.
they were in an apartment like
Honey, there was a doll on the stairs. It said evening.
It seemed pretty nice though.
But yeah, so the Warrens basically explain to these people, hey, you done fucked up, but don't worry, Papa Wilson's got you. I'll take the doll.
Papa Wilson.
So they take the doll, and it basically cuts to them in an auditorium, and they're like giving a lecture on who they are.
Right.
And like I do like this as an introduction for your ghost hunters or your exorcist in the movies, where like even they're kind of having fun with themselves. They're like, yeah, we're
right.
kooks or we're crazy, like whatever.
And
but
it's a different take on the scary story along at the campfire.
yeah.
Which is funny because there's so many like, oh, we're gonna go into Jason's woods, and then we're gonna tell the story about Jason, and then Jason's gonna stab me and all my friends. It's like that's cool,
Yeah.
but you don't have to do it every time. So that's a decent sized lecture hall.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that many people that are interested in.
in the 70s.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is 71, yeah.
yeah. I don't
Well,
think would the
maybe
school even allow that. Like,
Well, when did Satanic Panic start? Because maybe people were kind of like curious with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
yeah, maybe.
there wasn't a whole lot going on in the 70s. You know, what was there to do in the 70s?
But like
So-
Yeah.
Manson and shit like that.
But yeah, I'm sure it would be intriguing to people. And they're in like a big area. I guess they travel. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this whole thing is based on the true story of the Warrens.
Well, it's James
And-
Wan. It's got to be a true story.
Oh,
Yeah.
it has to be.
Now in real life, they were scam artists. Just, I feel like
Yes.
that needs to be said.
Is that what you concluded by all your
Well,
research?
There's been a lot of, now that these movies have come out,
They made it taken a little bit and ran with it to make a living off it.
Yeah.
But it made cool movies 40 years later. So
Yeah, it's still a very cool movie, but
Very
you know,
good.
just wanted to acknowledge that. Yeah, they probably weren't great people, but whatever. It's
Yeah.
a cool movie.
But when you put them in a movie and you put Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson playing them, oh, yeah, I'll get behind them. I'll get behind them.
Steve was saying how cute they are together.
Oh, very cute. They really blow this freaking relationship out of the water.
Oh, yeah, the horror movie married couple that fights demons together.
Oh, they're just so perfect.
I
like,
think
you
it's
think there
just
would be
their-
a little bit of tension, like, oh, fucking sick of seeing your face and all your visions and shit.
The only tension they have is like, I'm not going to lose you again.
Babe, we can't go and investigate the haunted house because I'm scared.
I'm scared of losing you.
I'm afraid of losing you, pussy. Get in the attic. Get in the attic.
She basically is like, yeah, come on, pussy. Come on. Let's go. Let's go
She's
fight
like,
a demon. Let's
you
go.
just have to hear about it. I have to see it. It comes from me.
You don't even see the witch hanging from the tree. I do. So shut
You're
up.
the one who's there's 18 bodies over my left shoulder right now.
But I will say she should be more open with what she's seeing. Like
Yeah.
she doesn't ever
Yup.
communicate with him. Like she should be able to at least talk to him about what she's
Yeah,
seeing. If
seriously.
not the families, because obviously that
Which
would
is-
be creepy.
I mean, it's good for the movie
Yeah.
that she doesn't. I feel like
It doesn't need it,
it doesn't.
explained
It doesn't
again.
need it.
Right.
But also, it's better that she doesn't. Then I think the audience would get too much, and then we wouldn't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
They do a really good job of showing and not explaining
Yeah.
in this movie as well.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, so they give you those moments where she is seeing apparitions.
Yeah.
She's seeing things that happened previously. She can like see what happened in the past. She's a little kooky.
She was drinking a bit. Now, let's be honest. She was hitting the sauce early. That
She's just
day.
like, hold on. For those of you listening, I'm taking a sip. Hold on.
No visions, no visions.
And
Whoa.
you just go, whoa, there's a demon.
Guys, nothing's working. You catch her out back smoking. You're like, oh, this is crazy now.
Hold
Wow.
on, hold on. I'm really gaining my psychic power. Hold on.
Yeah, she's just like tripping.
She's like, hold on, I really gotta see. Oh yeah, I can fucking see now. Let's go.
But yeah, they don't need to explain what just happened because they're showing you.
Yeah.
So the one thing that happens with the tree, you just see feet.
Yeah, and like, you know, like after they kind of establish them as like the ghost hunter, you know, we get introduced to our haunted family for this movie, our victims, as I would call them. And, you know, of course they're getting a brand new start in a brand new house with their 5 freaking kids and their dog and their perfect life. And I drive a truck and it's pretty fun. And then like they do that like kind of cool, like one take shot like through the house as they're kind of moving in
to show absolutely nothing. of
Literally
importance.
nothing.
Yeah, it was
Unnecessary but cool. They do have a few other cool
Yeah, they kind of
camera
do.
shots.
Oh my, yeah, James Wan in this camera is freaking ridiculous in this movie.
But the one thing they do that I pointed out to Steve and he's like, oh my God, I never noticed that. There's so many scenes where they slowly zoom
Yeah.
when it's nothing horror related. It's not, they're not zooming in on a ghost or something behind you. They're just zooming in on people during the scenes.
Just enough to.
Yeah, just a subtle slow.
I think it's I would see like camera motion like that slow as like as a feeling of uneasiness.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
the viewer that you never give them, because it's not like a real, like it's not a fucking action movie.
Yeah.
Right,
So there's
right.
not a whole lot of pow bang
Right.
clashing around except in those very intense moments.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the camera moving just a little bit, like we're so used to still shots, and then quick cutting
Right.
in everything, where like why is the camera moving?
Yeah.
Is something gonna
Yeah,
happen?
like what is
what's,
the purpose
What's
of
gonna
this?
happen?
Were
Why?
you setting up another fake jump scare by slowly panning to the left?
And then they don't, and they do it consistently. And
Right.
I feel like it just adds a little bit to the viewing experience where you're never quite still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're never quite still.
Yeah.
Everything's a little bit uneasy, but also I think that it's mostly just zooming in.
Yeah.
They do a lot of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just constantly like zooming in.
Yeah. But there was one moment where I was like, why does this look like a soap opera a little bit? Like when they were having like that heart-to-heart moment between Lorraine and the mom.
Oh, yeah.
And just like the way they kept zooming in on their faces. I'm like, this looks like a soap opera.
It's like, this is not what I
From
wanted.
the side as he's saying, we're gonna beat this cancer.
Yeah, and it's like
we'll make it through this together, man. It's like, why are you using the same exact
I'm
shot?
so upset because you slept with my cousin. Dun, dun, dun.
You could re-edit it into making it like a
Oh my God,
soap opera
100%.
Instead of the days of the haunting of our lives, a true love story.
The Conjuring of our lives.
Oh my God. The Conjuring of our love story. Yeah, sorry.
So they get haunted.
They
Yes.
get haunted.
Yeah, but
pretty quickly.
I will say I love how they set up the haunting because it's not like super spooky right away, but they're kind of giving you like hints of what's about to be happening. Like it starts off slow, like all their clocks stop at 3:07 a.m.
Well, the very, very first thing is the dog won't come into the house when they're moving.
Yeah.
That's like the first thing we see, which dogs know.
Oh yeah, they
that-
100%.
Yeah.
They're down to clown, but not with ghosts.
Yeah. And then it's like those other little things while they're moving in.
Yeah, and like, already the little girl has found like a creepy music box. You don't know where she got it.
Yeah, there's
but, like,
a music box.
Yeah, and then there is.
There's a music box in the haunting movie.
That's not what you want. But no, and like even like when you first walk into the house, you're kind of like, all right, there's something about it. And I don't know if it's like the slow zoom ins, but like there's something about it. You don't feel comfortable in this house.
Yeah.
And then
the pace is a bit like, because there's some movies that really are kind of frantic from getting one thing to the other, and you can be like, oh gee whiz, what's gonna happen now? Because they never give us a break. And there's some things that's just like, the difference between Freddy and Michael Myers. Like Michael Myers is just gonna walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll get to you eventually.
Yeah.
And you're gonna die, but he's just gonna walk there.
Yeah.
And then like Freddy was more of the like, he's right here. He's in your. He's like actively chasing you.
I was in your refrigerator the whole time. Hey, it's Freddy Krueger.
Okay, maybe one was way sillier than the other, but that kind of pacing can help. Just be like, I don't think they're gonna make it. I don't think they're gonna make it at all.
Yeah, it's very consistently building. Again, to bring up the haunting in Connecticut, that one took a while for it to happen, and then once it happened, it was like woo. But this one is just like a steady climb of more and more happening, and it feels very. Not that I've ever lived through a real haunting, but it feels realistic in the way that it's not immediately you're seeing apparitions. You're not immediately like seeing a ghost behind someone. It starts with those little things and the things falling off the walls and the cabinets and all that.
And they even kind of like make you think you're about to start seeing stuff because like,
they go in the basement.
Well, that, and there's the little girl, like everybody goes off to school. It's like their first day there. And, the mom is left home with the youngest daughter, and she's in her room talking to somebody, and she's like, oh, no, don't worry, you're my friend too. But the mom then questioned, like, oh, who are you talking to? Oh, Rory. Oh, that's a interesting name for your imaginary friend. And she's like, oh, but you can see him. Like, look into this box, and when the music stops, he'll be behind you. So they already set up the idea that, like,
no, I'm not playing that game.
And like, nothing happens. Like the little girl jumps out and scares her.
Right.
But they start getting you on your on the edge.
Plant the seeds a little bit.
And then it continues with this hide and clap game where, the mom's blindfolded. She has to listen to the claps and find the daughter. And it leads you into the fucking scary scene because she goes into the bedroom. The closet door opens by itself. She doesn't see it, but the hands come out and clap. Like, it is such a great way to get your audience scared because you're already on edge by being like, oh my God, the ghost is going to be behind her. But then it's just a little girl.
It does something different, and we know something that the character in the film doesn't, which is great.
Oh,
as long as you don't, if you start like that, it's really hard for me to get into the movie. Just because it's like, oh, great. So we're going to know everything that happens, and we get to watch these idiots not know anything.
Right.
But like just that little interaction with her daughter is like, okay, she knows something weird is happening. Oh, maybe she's got a new imaginary. Oh, that's great.
Right.
That can't be real. Then they're playing the game, and now she doesn't have an excuse for it not being real because she experienced it and it happened to her.
Yeah.
I will say
it was kind of isolated, just like the little girl has an isolated experience. Now she has an isolated experience.
Right.
And now she's Now we go, okay, well, I bet the mom believes her now to some extent because the same thing just happened to her.
I got to be honest, though. That little girl was a little too cocky when she comes into that room, and she's like, you weren't even close. I was hiding in Sarah and Jessica's room. Fuck you, Mom.
Yeah, pretty
well,
much.
they have to say that so that the mom knows that she wasn't even in that room at all, because she could have thought, oh, she was in the closet and then ran out before I got a chance to see it. But
oh, my God. But I just love the freaking hands coming out of the closet and giving the... And I'm like, ugh, goosebumps. I love it. I freaking love it.
I personally think sometimes it's a little bit silly when you can see the creatures and they're like there's another one that comes up later when it's like on top of the dresser.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that looks a little bit goofy, a little goofy for me. I like the things that happen that you can't see so much.
Right.
But I think they do a good job of balancing what you can see and what you can't see.
Right.
Yeah, because they don't just leave it on the screen for 40 out of the 95 minutes.
Yeah, because once you see it so much, you're just like, you lose.
The Nun.
Oh my God. No, that's exactly right. Because they put the Nun on the screen for so freaking long that you're like, that's not scary anymore.
It's not.
Like, it was scary in the second Conjuring because you barely saw her. She was in like 2 scenes and then she's gone.
Because that was the one where she comes out of that painting.
Yes.
Right? And you're like, whoa!
That was cool.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was cool when she was just a side character, but when you see her in every scene and you're just kind of like, all right, that's not scary anymore. It's just a nun with a blue face. I was like, all right, cool.
Go.
I saw enough of that in Catholic school. All right, I'm not really scared of it anymore.
Were you suffocating nuns?
No, they were really blue back then.
Nuns with blue faces. Well, stop choking the nuns, Steve.
Listen, I needed A's on my math reports. So I need an A.
But so the mom is getting bruises and scratches. She's getting
beat up.
She's getting drained.
She's getting beat up.
She's not having a good time.
Yeah, she gets it the worst. And like this eventually leads her to go and talk to the Warrens. But like in the meantime, the Warrens are still showing them like in investigating cases, all this crap, talking to the church, getting the room blessed. But I do like how in between these scenes they put them on like a investigation and they debunk the haunting.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, yeah, no, don't worry. Like we don't jump at every noise, every creak.
Scientific explanation.
Right.
Well, you see the draft of the air and the moisture in the blogs is where.
It honestly reminds me of like those ghost hunting shows where they over exaggerate every little thing. Oh,
did you hear that? It's like
somebody farted in the other room. Oh, it's a ghost.
It's like there's a highway over there.
Right.
We can hear the cars. It was a car.
Yeah. And I like that they have their main characters who know this stuff is real go into it with the attitude, oh, well, 90% of the time there's a logical explanation.
Yep. And they have to give you at least one of those to be like, see, they're not just bullshitting.
Right.
Like,
that's how they pay their rent. They still charge them for coming out.
Yeah, of course they do. I was saying that too. I was like, there's no ghost. Now that'll be $500.
Also, we're going to need room and board for about 4 to 5 days. Yep. Also, a hot meal would be good. Yeah. Also, we're going to be babysitting your kids at a certain point, so we're going to need babysitter money.
Yeah, like when they go to the whatever their family name is house, like the main one.
The parent house. Yeah,
they are like living there, and they're like, oh, we'll help with the chores. We'll make breakfast for the kids. It's like, is that in your contract? Like, I'm confused.
Oh my God. But yeah, so like it all like all of this ramps up to the one big night where, the mom gets locked in the basement. And this scene is great where she's like, she gets pushed down the stairs and like she comes running up and all the lights go out. And like you literally get in pitch black with this lady and she's lighting matches.
And that's such a cool visual scene.
I really like that.
And I said when it happened, a lot of times in horror movies, when it's dark, you can still see something,
right?
Even if all the lights are out. They cut the whole screen out and it goes pitch black. And that is what your eyes would actually do if the light got cut in a completely dark basement. You wouldn't be able to see anything. And it's a really cool moment when it just like cuts to black.
Yeah.
And I'm
you just hear stuff.
I'm pretty sure it's just a match.
Yeah.
That's too, which is, I mean, I don't know how many times you'd have to try that or experiment with different lenses and stuff like. Or if they were just like, we don't really care how much you can see because this is how we're shooting this. This is what it's going to look like.
They just needed to light it enough so when the hands come out from behind her and clap, you could see it. But other than that,
you can get a match.
Yeah,
with the kind of wood, and
especially
whatever
in that tiny enclosed space, like of like the stairwell. Like, a match would probably light that pretty well.
Well, and you can get a movie match to make a little extra light.
A movie match.
Yeah.
One small hole. How did she not break her bones falling down that staircase?
Good point, because her neck would be snapped, I think.
She would at least have, like, some broken ribs, maybe, like, her ankle, legs.
Well, did she start getting demon-y yet? Because, like, maybe the demon kind of, like, gave her strong bones.
I think that was before the possession, but
maybe she drinks a lot of milk, and it actually does build strong bones.
Well, back in the 70s when it was actual milk and not, like, a bunch of hormones and bullshit product. And there's plastic in it. When it was actually milk,
when it was straight from the cow teat.
Back in my day, milk was milk.
Yeah. It's the 70s. Everything was
soda
organic.
For a nickel.
Everything was organic.
Oh my god.
That's just how it was.
But they did have good stunt work in this.
Oh my god, yeah. Like
the
she
falling down
fucking
the stairs,
tumbles down these stairs.
The like kids getting tugged around by their hair and stuff.
Oh yeah, and like because the girl's getting like pulled in the bed.
That's a great. For me, that's one of the best. Like can't see it interactions.
Yeah.
I would hate
that. Somebody just pulled that girl out of bed by her leg.
But I'm just saying, like, after that ghost claps behind her head, like, I wouldn't be screaming. I would just be like, fuck, I just shit my pants. God damn it. Like, get me out of here. It smells. Like, fucking Ron Livingston comes in. He finally gets her out of the basement, and she just goes, whoa, honey.
Hey.
Whoa. But yeah, like
straight to the shower.
Yeah, and like while all this is happening, like the oldest daughter, like what you were saying, like gets like the witch or something like sitting above her wardrobe, and it just jumps down on her. I remember seeing that in theaters, and I like seeing this by myself in a theater with like 3 other people. I literally almost pooped my pants. I was like, holy crap! I wasn't expecting witch.
Yeah, I mean...
From the top rope.
Oh, from out of nowhere, it's Bathsheba! Oh, my God.
She pretty much just gets elbow dropped by a witch from off the vestibule.
And it's all the girls that are getting messed with. Like, the dad doesn't
he really
get
doesn't
it. I think...
experience anything.
Because in this movie, the dad doesn't have... He's not an asshole. He doesn't abuse the kids. He doesn't have a drinking problem.
He's too nice to his family, so he doesn't get
like,
possessed.
he's a decent guy.
And
they don't have to shit on him every time in the haunted movies. The guy doesn't have to be a piece of shit.
And the highest his voice ever gets is when he comes home this night, like from his truck job. He finds the house in craziness. Everybody's screaming, and he just goes, "God damn it! Will somebody tell me what's going on?"
Well, and from his perspective, he probably thinks someone got into the house, locked the mom in the basement, and then was going after his kids.
Yeah.
Like, that would be your first thought, is like, there's an intruder in my house.
Right. Like,
someone
all the pictures
me.
are all over the stairs. Glass is broken. The wife is locked in the basement. Like, I'd be freaking the fuck out too. Like, all right, am I fighting or are we okay? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. So, like, he was totally justified in being like, oh my God, what is happening?
Exactly. Like, it shows he actually cares. He's not like an alcoholic who just got back from driving his truck like, who the fuck left all the lights on?
What the hell? What the hell? You don't pay, you know how expensive rent and a second mortgage is?
Are you seriously locking doors in my house? You're staying down there tonight, wife.
It's my door.
I'm the only one who locks doors in this house.
But I guess that is my one bone to pick with this genre.
Yes.
It's like the dude doesn't always have to be garbage.
Yeah.
Like, you bought the house where 16 people got murdered by an axe.
Well,
he doesn't have to have a drinking problem and have already cheated on his wife, but they work through it. But she'll hold it over his head through the whole movie and just remind him.
But Michael, they work through it. But she's going to hold it over his head.
But she
worked through it.
That's why she's bringing it up, because they work through it. Lying bitch.
But this finally motivates the family. Yeah, I know it really does. But they finally this night finally motivates the family to go and see the Warrens at one of their lectures. They stop him at the end. They're like, no, seriously, you need to come see my house. And of course appeals to Loraine, and Loraine goes, all right, yeah, we'll make another $1,000 and live in your house for a couple days.
And also they don't push back against the whole, like, usually it'll be like the wife is trying to convince the husband that like we need to like seek help, and he's like, no, I don't believe in that crap. It's like they cut all of that out. It wasn't necessary.
There's always that scene where she like pulls out the internet research that says like, are demons real? And he's like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, was there a library?
No
No,
library.
no library.
research.
You had the Warrens, so you didn't need a library.
Yeah, there was no montage.
No
researching.
absorbing 200 years worth of newspaper in 14 seconds.
No, well,
And the mom and dad got along. This is an excellent
there's
film.
Almost a library scene, but again, you're just at the Warrens' house, and she's got like schematics, she's got like old timey history, but it's a better way of doing that when you already establish these characters as the experts in this field.
And she's just doing research on the history of the house to connect it to what she's already seen. So like it all makes sense.
Yeah, no, they
we said earlier, everything has a purpose.
Yes. There's no just like, again, boring shit or like typical stuff in the horror movie that they're like, we have to over explain this, like, oh, here's the whole origin. It's like, no, it makes sense that the demonologist would know about the demon.
Also, we're just here to watch the family die. So let's pitter patter us get at her.
But yeah,
and kill the family.
Loraine literally just like, once she discovers all this stuff, she literally has a scene where she's just spitting all the information out to Ed, like telling him everything that happened, and it's not over explained. It's not,
it gives you enough where you're like, okay, I get why the house is haunted, and I get the backstory. There was a witch, she cursed the land. Hey, I'm friends with Satan. It's totally cool.
They're buddy.
Yeah, they hang out on the weekends.
We hang out. We're going to ruin your life. You got a beautiful family.
If you auction off my land, I'm going to fucking curse you. So, like, don't do that.
It'd be better if you could go get a drinking problem real quick. But it doesn't. We don't have to. It's not a hard,
Oh, my God.
That's just a soft ask for the film.
But I love when Ed and Loraine show up at this house and
with their crew.
Yeah, they show up with the crew. They roll deep. I love it. But they know, like, as soon as they walk into the house, you can tell by the way Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are like acting. You're like, oh yeah, they already know. Like, they're already convinced they're going to take this case. Yeah. But like,
well, yeah, she was having visions the whole way over there in the car, Steve.
But I just love when after they do the tour of the house and all that shit, and she's sorry, I keep seeing Michael's jaw move.
Definitely did it on purpose.
But like, as she's explaining it to the family, she's just like, yeah, as soon as I walked in, there was a shadow and it was latched to your back, so like.
Not a good sign.
Based on demon rules, you're the one we're going to focus on because you're getting possessed,
I
obviously.
can see them eating your soul. We'll take the job. All right.
But I just love when, Ron Livingston's like tapping on the wall and he's like, yeah, the doors bang like this. And Patrick Wilson's like, oh, yeah, dude. Like, you don't know? That's obviously an insult to the Trinity. Are you kidding me?
Well,
Knock 3 times? Duh.
Yeah, he's like, and it always comes in threes? Yeah. And it sounds just like this? Yeah. All right, well, you got a demon on your hands.
Bro, you got a fucking demon.
Well, that's it. That's why you pay us the big bucks.
Like, they just come to the conclusion so quickly. I love that they don't, like, beat around the bush too much.
Yeah. It's like, oh, bro, you got a stage 5 demon in your house.
It's not stage 5. Not a stage 5.
But this is also kind of where we see that the demon is messing with Loraine already. She gets a vision in the lake. By their house of her daughter floating in the water, and so she goes and calls like her mom or whatever and is like, please tell me my daughter's okay, and then she has to explain to Ed that she saw a vision, and this is kind of how everything is connecting back to their story and Annabelle, and it starts to make a little connection.
It kind of works out great.
Well, they correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but
You're
they
wrong.
knew they were
Sorry.
Wow.
They knew they were making more than one of these.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, that was one of those things where you can see how they wrote the first one. They go, all right, give me 3 or 4 different avenues that story could go, and then add bits of it into the first movie to introduce this world.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely more of a a thematic or we're gonna make a few movies this way type thing,
Well,
and that's why they show.
And it really helps that they based it off of like people who do cases. So it's like, oh, our first one is one case. Oh, they have 17 others. Oh, cool. They're sequels.
And the other thing for the audience is how many times has based on a true story come up, and after the movie you go, let's see how much of that was real.
Yeah, and it's like
you go look
5%.
it up, and you go, oh wow, they did. Well, this was in the movie. This was in the movie. This is a crazy story.
Yeah.
Let's see what else they do with the future. Like, because that's me, because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, this was true. I don't care if like they just used the names and made everything else up. I'm gonna read about that story, and if that story's cool, which is probably why you're making movies about it, right? Then I'm probably gonna watch the other stuff too. It's a good way to get an audience. Have them do something until the second movie came out, and then retain a good amount of your audience. Anyways, well planned. On their end.
And you know the whole thing about Annabelle is that she's not a huge part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in a little bit more towards the end, but they are really kind of setting up like this could be another movie.
Yeah, we could do spin-off.
Make an Annabelle movie.
Annabelle is like the Thanos for haunted house movies. There you go, Steve.
Perfectly
I gave you
balanced.
one Marvel tie-in.
He's like always in the background until you give him his
then
spell.
Annabelle gets the infinity possession gauntlet.
Yeah.
When I snap my fingers, half of your life will be possessed. Stupid. I love it.
You're welcome, Steve. You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like that they made sequels, but I also don't like that they made spin-offs. Like, keep going with, like, the Warren story. Like, you had something to go off of, but when you're basing a whole story off, like, the Annabelle doll, it's kind of like, it was a scary element of your movie.
Yep.
It doesn't need its own movie.
And, I mean, we say this a lot. If you would have just done what we wanted,
it would have been great.
Way better. It would have been way better.
Us.
Just do what we say.
If the $1 billion movie.
Wow, we sound so cocky right now.
Yeah, man, if they just watched movies and did a podcast, they would be so much better.
Actually.
Yeah, hold on, let me push up my glasses here.
But yeah, so they're going through the house. They are finding evidence.
Yes.
They are looking in attics and things.
Yeah, because like their whole purpose here is to gather filmed evidence so they can bring it back to the church and approve an exorcism for the family to try and help
for the
them.
property or family.
Because Ed and Loraine are great, but they're not the best.
They're not
when it comes,
sanctioned.
Yes.
To do an exorcism.
They're not licensed, but they're acknowledged.
Well, I think Loraine wasn't she like the only non-ordained?
Yeah, well,
I thought they said that was Ed.
Ed is the only non-ordained.
Maybe I wanted it to be her, Steve, and it could have been her, but you ruined
Listen,
it.
she's got superpowers. Give something to Ed,
All right,
okay?
all right.
Yeah, she's a medium. Ed needs something.
Ed had a lot of patience.
Yeah.
No, it's like, I'm a medium, and I helped.
And I married her.
Like, what do you do? Everything else around the house?
I'm a medium. I got her pregnant.
I'm a medium. I drive the van.
What do you do? I carry her stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hold her purse. I'm helpful too. Hi, Ed Warren.
I'm definitely not going to get possessed in the 3 movies down the road and almost ruin it.
Isn't that Insidious?
Oh yeah, shit.
Anyway.
I forgot he was in that. God damn it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you get them mixed up.
It's the same guy. Same guy made him. It's the old James.
So they do go back to the priest and they ask for permission.
Because they literally show a girl gets drug across the floor by invisible hand on her hair.
Yeah.
And the guy's just like, yo, bro, I gotta talk. I gotta go straight to the Vatican about this.
We need direct approval from the Vatican.
Only the Pope can do this. All right, this is pretty rough.
Hilarious.
And then 3 seconds later, he's like, yo, don't worry, bro. I'll push it through.
It's like, what are you gonna do?
He builds it up. Only the Pope can approve this. I swear to God, guys, this is ridiculous. We gotta go straight up to the Pope. And then Ed's like, yeah, but come on. And he's like, all right, I'll push it through myself. It's like, come on. Like, don't establish it's a big deal and then just be like, all right, you got me.
He owed him a favor.
Hey, You remember when we were at that bar? Come on. Give me exorcism rights.
I don't. Now I get Catholicism has a lot of red tape, right?
There's rules. I get it.
Yeah.
It's very bureaucratic.
But I don't understand. Like, I'm not about to ask some dude if I can get rid of the demons in my family.
Hey, am I allowed to get the demon out of this lady?
Do you mind if we don't die a horrible death?
It's like, hey, listen, I know your mom is about to kill your sister.
However.
I gotta make 3 calls, sign a contract in triplicate, and get it notarized, and then I will be right back to save you from your demonic mom.
I understand you got the signatures, but there's no seal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a raised seal.
I don't see the lip marks of the Pope kissing this, so sorry, you're on your own.
Yeah.
We need the Pope notary over here.
They can only be signed from 12 o'clock to 2:30 on Mondays.
Yeah, we just missed our window on possession time, so
yeah.
Unfortunately, you've been possessed too long for this exorcism to take effect.
It's Saturday. Everybody's at mass. This is not. It's gonna have to stay over the weekend. It's just gonna sit on my desk. I'm sorry.
We're just like Chick-fil-A. We're actually closed on Sundays, so sorry. We're gonna have to wait till Monday to exorcise your mom.
Oh God.
All right, everybody out of puns.
Yeah, I think so. So it keeps getting worse in the household. It's just nonstop. The mom's getting more and more creepy looking.
Oh my God. Dude, but oh my God, the scene where like you think everything's good, like they got their evidence, they're about to go to the priest, and like, you know, Ron Livingston's cooking breakfast, he's making pancakes, he's doing great. Like all the family's happy, they're excited that the Warrens are there.
And the mom says, "Wow, our house hasn't felt like this in a long time."
Yeah.
So they give you a little bit of hope.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, maybe
Is this where they have
did
the
it.
sweet talk. Well, it's like
Outside, doing the laundry.
Yeah, I could, I could see us do what laundry.
Yeah, and it's like we really need to help these people, Ed. And he's like, yeah, I'll start by fixing the Chevy that's been broken down in the yard.
Yeah, which is nice, you know.
Yeah,
It was nice, but also it's like, all right. Again, is that in your contract?
I know we've already zoomed past this part, but I just wanted to go back to the one part that Patrick Wilson develops a Canadian accent when he's explaining the haunting to the dad.
Oh yeah, there you got a demon there.
He's like, oh yeah, that's where the witch committed suicide. Oh man, that was a rough one.
He thought, you know, the nice people, Canadians.
Yeah,
probably won't hurt as much with a friendlier accent.
Like, I know I live in Connecticut, but oh man, geez, that witch done cursed the land there. Oh, I mean, it's oh man, you really got yourself in a pickle there, buddy.
I don't.
It came out for like one moment, and then
literally one scene where he's just like, "Oh yeah, man, oh that witch." Whew.
I mean, Steve's over exaggerating, but yeah, something like that.
It's like a Wisconsin idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know about Canadian, but
yeah, no, I just thought it was freaking great the one time. But yeah, so they're shit. Yeah, they're. He's like, yeah, I'll fix their Chevy. Like, don't worry about it, babe. We're gonna save this family.
She's hanging up laundry on the line.
Yeah, I love this.
That's cool. That's a cool
blows
shot.
And it like silhouettes the person and then flies into the window, and you see the ghost standing up there, and you're just like, yo, and that is so cool.
The first time I saw this movie, I didn't notice the person in the window. I just saw the sheet fly away, and then you kind of go like, oh, that was creepy. But if you're not looking, you miss.
Yeah,
I like it as here's what you're about to see. Here it is.
It's up there.
Like it's like,
and you know what the best part was?
Like as a film, like that's so good because you don't realize you're doing exactly what they designed it to do.
And the best part was,
like that.
There's no loud bang. There's no fucking like explosion.
Just the wind blowing, Steve. It'll get you.
Yeah.
It'll get you.
And it just shoots the thing. You see the thing. And you're like, all right, well.
Oh, sorry, going back again. Another favorite jump scare of mine in this movie is when the mom is going around. She's like checking all the daughters are in their bed or whatever. And then she hears just glass shattering, and that's when all the paintings fall off the wall for the first time. And that is such a good use of a jump scare with an actual sound of how it would actually happen. There's no strings and like orchestration that cause the loud sound. It's just the sound of it. And if you ever had a painting fall off the wall, you get that like, oh shit, like because you hear a loud bang, and it makes it feel so realistic. And I love that one as a jump scare that feels realistic.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to go back on a
Do
little
it.
bit before we get to the big bang at the end. The dog. Oh my God.
Poor buddy.
This dog gets killed pretty early on.
Not even enough time to give a shit about the dog.
Yeah.
And they kill it.
So they kill off the dog because something demonic gets the dog in
You
this
need a
spot
first
by the
victim
house.
for the thing to
Also,
start feeding.
working with
Yeah.
animals in films is really
Yeah.
hard. He'll be in 2 scenes.
Yeah, but then they don't acknowledge the dog ever. Like, they don't tell the Warrens that this happened to their dog. You think that would be prime ghosty evidence there.
Yeah, he literally mentions, oh yeah, we had birds fly into the house and die, but
It's like, what about your dog? You had a dog. Like, do you not care about this
it's like this
dog?
was emotionally devastating to your daughter, and you just kind of were like, whatever, we'll get a new
They
one.
were fine as long as Ed and Loraine Warren are making breakfast.
All right.
Also, it was the 70s.
It's
It was
like,
different.
Yeah.
they pull him over to
dogs used to just die.
like
Yeah.
Ed pulls the dad over to the side. Hey, listen, I know you were cooking breakfast, but we're gonna have to add that to our to our charges.
Yeah.
We don't normally do breakfast, but since you offered it to us, that is an additional charge for our time.
I actually had a bird fly into my office window today
Yeah?
at work. Yeah.
Did you say hi to it?
I
Wait,
did,
shit.
did.
Have you been involved in any witches or?
Whoa. First of all, how do you think I got this? Second, I did check on the bird, and it was just sitting there, and then it flew away. And I was like,
oh, well, at
"All
least it
right,
flew."
We're safe for today.
At least it wasn't possessed, because if it was possessed, it would have just croaked right
It would have
there.
went like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's what a bird sounds like.
personal experience. I was in the movie.
I can report on the accuracy of the bird dying against the window. I've seen it before.
So at some point here, Ed and Loraine have to rush back home because they...
Yeah, because some shit's going down in their house. So
Yeah.
like it's almost a blink and you miss it moment, but she falls through the wall because she's investigating some shit.
Yeah.
And as she's running, Loraine gets pulled by her locket that her daughter gives her in like a previous scene, and then the locket gets like ripped off her neck and is hung on like some random board in their basement.
Mm-hmm.
So that is like, I guess, the demon's way of being like, oh, I'm gonna airdrop myself to your house now, and and now I'm gonna fucking haunt your daughter.
Yeah.
So like,
He sees the picture in the necklace and is like, I'm going to go after this one now.
It's all the standard operating procedure for David's.
it's
obviously.
in demon contract where if you leave a locket, I can possess your
thing
house.
I'm not thrilled with
Yeah.
was she has the vision of her daughter floating in the.
Yeah.
How many times you do this for a living and you're still gonna give in and freak out? Well, that's what it wants.
Yeah.
So she gives there's little stuff like, and then the locket thing. It would be like, go ahead, try it, pussy. Like
Make my day.
Yeah, make my day. Go ahead after my daughter. You can't hurt us. We do this professionally.
Right. Well,
And it's
my
like, my daughter
thought-
again.
my thought about it is that this particular demon is a very strong
But it was test of
presence,
land.
more than anything they've seen before, almost. And like, you can tell too, because even Ed, when he's going through this exorcism, they say, I've seen so many exorcisms, I got this. And then when it starts like going absolutely bananas, even he is like, I've never seen this
And just
before.
to back up her story, in the subtitles in the beginning, it said, their most horrifying case.
Yes, the most.
But
So, well, my other thing about
Yeah.
that is I do think that whatever is in this house is like buddies with the Annabelle demon in the underworld. So they were kind of like,
Oh, you think they were like roommates in like demon college?
yeah, something like that. So where like this demon kind of could like, if you think of hierarchies, you know how
He
like,
just calls them, yo, bro, the Warrens are out. Fucking party.
well, I just mean, you know how there's supposedly like a hierarchy to hell, and how like Satan is at the top of the totem pole, and then he has like
He's got
people.
his yeah.
I feel like it's like some of the top guys.
Yeah.
he's the
in
demon
hell.
account manager,
Yeah, something like that.
and he needed some
the
extra
CFO and the
I'm the comptroller of hell.
yeah.
juice. What I was gonna say is, you're allowed to be nervous playing in the World Series, but you still have to perform.
All right.
In context to what?
Get good, idiot. Like, just get better at your job. Like, what? Oh, there's pressure at work? Tough.
Get better at
Rise to
possessing
the occasion or pick a different vocation.
Yeah, I think this is only the second time that she's experienced anything so intense.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were trying to say with like the one other time that it affected her.
Can you imagine if like, you know, they get started with this exorcism, the mom's like almost killing her daughter. They get her strapped into the chair.
As they do.
And
Like, oh,
as you
almost
do.
murder.
And he's just like reading from the Bible. He's doing his thing. And like after like that 5 seconds where it kind of stops and like the chair starts levitating. And he just goes, well, I've done all I can. Good luck, buddy. There is a shotgun in the corner. I suggest you use it before she falls to the ground. So anyway, you know, all my blessings. Sorry. That'll be $500.
Kill the vessel. Demon's gone.
No more
demon.
Oh my God, that's like this scary movie. Like they can't perform the exorcism, so he's like, you know what? Fuck this. He just shoots
blast it. Yeah.
Oh God.
But as far as like a haunting movie ending, it's kind of good.
It's good.
It's kind of good. Now I know we've been having fun with it, but this is a good movie, and they did a bunch of things well. And how many horror films? Wow, that was really great until it wasn't.
Until the ending.
And then they ended it, and we were just like, well, that ruined the hour 20 that you just put into it. Like, why do all that work, do everything so well, just to have next door neighbor Fred turn out to be the villain? You know what I mean? Like that's no fun. But this one they kept.
Like
I think they did.
Don't
a good
get me
job.
wrong. I love this movie. I love how it ends, but I do find some of the dialogue in the ending just like a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Like when Lorraine's got her hand on her, she's like, "This is your daughter."
Yeah, but I mean, also, if you were in that moment, like, what the fuck are you gonna say?
I mean,
It's gonna be better than that.
I would be like, "Stop it."
No,
don't do that.
We talked about this. You would still be changing your underwear.
Earlier. No, I got a rolled up newspaper like Bathsheba. No,
bad.
Stop it.
And of course, I mean, it's easy to say like it's cheesy, but like, what else are you really gonna write for these moments
and I mean, like,
of that intense passion? But also, they have to say something short enough for the audience to hear, to understand it, and also it needs to be said loud enough to play over the music.
But I do love Patrick Wilson sticking his head through through the hole in the wall, and he's just like, Bathsheba, by the power of God, I condemn you back to hell. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Power of Christ compels you.
Wasn't in Latin, la 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 la.
But
I can say this in English.
I kind of like what they do with like the mom's possession makeup, because as he's saying that, you see it's the mom's face, but then as she turns into the witch.
Oh, yeah, that's
It
cool
was
stuff.
such a cool fucking way to like jump that.
They just actually
turned her into a witch.
Yeah.
They actually possessed her and just got it on film.
It's all
It was great.
practical.
Yeah, but just the way,
Practical
possession.
effects.
just the way the fucking demon like shoots her stare at Patrick Wilson, like, dude, how fucking dare you say my name? It's like, Will Smith, keep my name out your fucking mouth.
If you can't name them, you can't command them.
Yeah, you need the name. That's
Yeah.
like the staple in demon movies.
Yeah.
It's also the staple in like real life, how you're supposed to do it.
Oh.
That's why they do it in the movies.
Yeah.
Well, do they wear name tags? How easy is it to find these guys' names?
It's not. That's the point.
God
so
damn
they
it.
can't be cast out as easy.
All right,
Yeah,
that's
I think
fair.
you have to identify the demon.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to say their name to
Or
stop
else
them.
somebody that's not about that life would just be like, "Hey, time to go."
Hey, Demon George, get out of here.
Yeah, it's
get
like,
out of
we
here,
can't have
George.
every layperson casting demons out. They want to make it difficult.
Hey, Liam, stop possessing my wife.
Now, I just need to know, if you were one of these daughters who the mom tried to murder with a pair of scissors, would you ever be able to look at your mother the same way again?
There would be no more hugging in my house. I'd be like, Mom, let me see both your hands. Are there a pair of scissors in there? Okay, get the fuck away from me,
like,
Mom.
when you're 5, like, you've only known this lady for 5 years. Like, that's not that long.
I thought I could trust you, Mom. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's got to cause some trauma.
I know in the 70s they weren't big on therapy, but these guys are definitely going to family therapy.
They're gonna need some.
So, how did it feel when your mom turned into a demon and tried to stab you?
Oh my god. That's all I could think about with these little girls. And like, okay, so they do the whole exorcism and surprise, no one dies. And the mom is no longer possessed.
Yeah, she's cured.
And immediately after, they like run outside. She's looking at the sunlight. It's like, oh my god, life is amazing. And then she grabs her little girl and is like, I love you so much. I think
It's
maybe
like, Mom,
don't
I need
grab
some
her.
space. Please.
Give her a little room.
It's been a long night.
They all experienced it together, so they knew
Yeah.
it wasn't her mom. But yeah,
Right.
that's a little wild.
I just
As
think
the
at
younger
first it would
son.
be like, Mom, I love you, but just
I'm
you tried to
still-
kill me like 30 minutes ago. Please, just
Yeah, like 5 minutes ago. Like
Just,
it
like, no
wasn't
touching.
even. It wasn't even that long ago.
just please. I know Bathsheba, whatever, but please.
Look,
just-
we've been on set for 9 months. Get the fuck away from me.
Oh god. But yeah. So at the very end, they give us a little hint to a sequel.
Yeah,
They
like,
they bring the music box
Mhm.
back to their basement.
yeah, and I think as they're locking up, the music box and all that, Lorraine comes up to Ed and is like, "Hey, so we got a call from the priest. There's something in like Europe they want us to like look into."
Yeah.
And you're like, sequel set up just in case it's good. And then of course that's what we get in the sequel. It's great. It's a fun way to like, because you already know they're gonna keep working cases. Like, so it's not necessarily a sequel setup. It's just kind of like a fun way to like end it. Like, oh, we're gonna keep working. Like,
Yeah.
we've gotten over like this
Well, it was a-
trauma that we've faced, and now we're gonna keep
And
going.
They spent so much time showing that this was their job.
Yeah.
That it made sense to end it that way, where they're like, "Oh, you've saved us. You've changed our lot," and they're like, "Yeah, it's what we do. We're gonna get back to our daughter and our life and keep doing this." But
Yeah.
like, okay, everything's good. All right, and they still kept it kind of professional.
Also, we'll be billing you, so just look in the mail for that.
Hefty bill.
Hefty.
Wow.
This was a
Big bill.
5-day stay plus an exorcism.
Yeah. So in 1970, it was $35.
That's like half my rate, man.
And they paid all their crew members and everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
on
one thing
$35.
I liked, how the one crew member when he was setting up was kind of chatting with the one
Oh,
daughter.
yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm glad they put a little bit of that, because like, I'm here to film demons. She's cute.
She's cute.
She's cute. Like,
just
as a
love-
guy, I know it's like, I'm here to do a task. Who was that?
I love that it's the only time they throw in 70s dialogue. He's like, it's pretty far out, right? And she's like,
groovy, baby, groovy.
I
It's like,
love that.
just to
Oh my
remind
God.
you, hey guys, we're still in the 70s.
No.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Ed walks into the room, like the daughter leaves, and he gives the cameraman like I know what you were
he knows
doing.
what's going on.
And he's like,
I
listen,
saw that.
we are ordained by the church right now. Try and keep it in your pants.
Or he was
There's
like,
demons, all right?
I bagged the lady that has visions and can cast demons out. Game respects game. Game respects game, dude. Come on now.
Oh god.
Oh my God. But yeah, I mean,
That's basically it. I feel like
That's it.
it's great.
I feel like there's a few little things that we missed because they just pack so much good stuff into this movie.
It's like a 2-hour, maybe some change movie. Fucking worth every minute. Everything they put on screen is worth your time to pay attention to watch. It sucks you into this story. Like, yeah, there's some cheesy dialogue. There's some fucking like lulls, but it's never enough that
a haunted
takes you
house
out.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're gonna walk away from this to go to the bathroom, you better be pausing this movie.
Pause this shit because
'Cause-
you're gonna miss the subtle fucking hints and the
Yeah.
cues.
Yeah, you have to watch every moment.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, when you watch a movie, watch the movie.
But yeah, no, James Wan knocked it out of the park. He got a great cast. They're all even the kid actors are good.
Oh, yeah, the girl with the short hair,
Yeah.
short dark hair. Like one of my favorite things is when she has that moment where she sees the ghost that's been like pulling at her
Oh
feet.
yeah, in the corner there.
And like she's crying to her parents saying like, it said it wants my family dead, and she seems so genuinely
Yeah.
terrified.
It's perfect.
They get such a good ugh.
Yeah, I
just-
don't want to know what they did to her in real life to get that reaction out of an 8-year-old. But
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, they really got a good.
like
act out
some
of it.
people just have natural talent,
Yeah, they're just
And-
really good.
and I mean that's as good as you're gonna get for an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
You know.
She was really good.
Yeah. But no, I'd say overall, fantastic movie. One of my favorites to watch around Halloween. It's the perfect atmosphere. You fucking pop a thing of popcorn, sit down, turn the lights off, and watch this movie. And I can almost guarantee you something is going to scare you in this movie.
Your popcorn gonna be flying in this
Yes.
movie.
Whoa! Gotta pop more.
I mean, it's
Have a
haunted
backup bowl,
Halloween.
yeah.
Yeah.
Watch the haunted house movie that kind of is the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because
Like, not to like over generalize the horror franchise, but like it's not that bloody. There's not that much cussing. There's not that much skin.
there's like no skin.
No.
Well, I mean,
This is a very tame
she
movie.
pulls,
family
She
movie.
pulls that girl's ankles.
Oh yeah, there are
There's
ankles,
ankles.
shown.
Yeah,
So,
and feet.
Shoulder. There's a bit of shoulder.
Oh shit! I didn't think about the shoulder.
Yeah, yeah. We're cooking with gas.
Whoa. Whoa.
Don't even get me started
But
on that.
Why wasn't this
Annabelle.
movie rated X? My God.
Well, you guys know, like, I kind of judge movies by how much junk they put in it to
Yeah.
like distract you from
The movie.
the movie not being a movie.
Yeah.
And it's like this was one where it was like, no, it was a film. It didn't need any gimmicks or time wasters or
Right.
fillers. It was just, we're gonna make a good movie. It translated to the silver screen well, and it came at a time where there was a kind of gap in style of
Yeah.
horror, and then this was like
It was
'cause
very
there's
establishing
50s
in
and
this
60s,
genre.
and even
Yes.
some silent films with like all your Draculas and stuff, which were very haunting-esque movies. Then they didn't do it for a while, and then the modern era kind of starts with this.
Yeah, because this kind of brought us out of the Saw era, the fucking Hostel era. Like,
Over the top.
this
Hell
was
yeah.
the transition
Torture
from like the
porn.
torture
Yeah.
porn of like the early 2000s into, oh, we're actually gonna make like
All right, let's make some
ghost
good ones.
scary
Yep.
again.
And I think that's just people with good stories to tell looked at the landscape and go, we've got to tell these stories
Yeah.
now because this is getting too
Like,
much.
Yeah, because look what came after this. Like, we had a string of great, like, Sinister came after this, Insidious came after this. Like,
Yep.
so many great franchises. I
Yep.
mean, they were all headed by James Wan.
Yeah, it was mostly the one dude.
But so many franchise, like, he pioneered the fucking torture porn because he did Saw.
Yep.
So, like,
He
he
did the
did
first
Saw,
one,
and then
yep.
he was like, oh, I'm going to redefine the genre again.
Again.
Here's The Conjuring. And you're
Then
just
there
like,
was
oh,
another,
shit.
And that we've talked about this on previous podcasts, but there was another lull in like 2015,
Yeah,
16,
we started
17,
losing it
18,
again.
19, 20, and then
And then
we
they
were
did
like,
The Nun,
hey.
and we're like, oh, God,
Yeah,
this
'cause
is
it
getting
can't
bad.
get-
Yeah,
it
we
can't get any
went
worse.
we went from like actual scary to the jump scare era.
Oh, the jump scare.
Yeah, the jump scare.
Yeah, that's what
good.
we thought you were doing, but you said it twice.
Yeah, but
jump
like
scare.
Yeah, and then now I think we're finally back to like good. Like you get like Talk to Me. You get even Smile. Surprisingly, was good. Like
Yeah,
something you
I-
thought was
Long
going to be getting
Legs?
Long Legs.
Long Legs was nuts.
Yeah, like we're finally back to like the 2012 era of horror where we're getting genuine stories with horror elements added to it.
Yep.
Like they make a good compelling story and then they're like, okay, so how do we scare them within the framework of this movie?
I think they're just taking dramas
yeah.
and just adding,
The spook.
like, we're going to watch the people die. Instead of Uncle Jim getting cancer,
Yeah.
Uncle Jim's going to get hit by a bus, and Uncle Jim's going to come back and piss everybody off. Like, you know, it's like they take the story arc of a drama,
Yeah.
and then add these horror elements that like make it grit, like not
Yeah.
even grit. It makes the story gritty,
Right.
even though what's on the screen doesn't necessarily have to be gritty.
Yeah, no arms are getting lopped off. Nobody's fucking like pulling
Well-
fish hooks out of their back. Like you're just kind of like
Which that was kind of cool, but
That-
I know
yeah,
exactly what you're talking about.
More
That was kinda cool.
slasher. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I highly recommend this movie. It's in my top, I'd say it's top 3, 5, maybe.
Oh, yeah,
movies.
100%.
Top 3 the scary movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like, you know, you can forget about The Devil Made Me Do It. Don't worry about that, Conjuring. But the second one, you know, they brought James Wan back. They kind of build on the story. Like, they do a good job.
Worth a watch too.
Definitely worth a watch. But
Then stop.
yeah, just stop there. You don't need to watch Annabelle or Annabelle Creation or Annabelle Comes Home or Annabelle Goes to the Beach or Annabelle Goes to the Aquarium. You
or
don't
the
need,
Nun or the Nun 2
or La Llorona. Like
no, none of it.
Then there's the Nun and Annabelle back in action.
Yeah.
It's
And then
all bad too. Like,
and then the Nun and Annabelle, Too Fast, Too Furious. You don't need all that. They took the idea of these scary things and completely missed the point of what made them scary.
Yeah.
Like they're like, "Oh, James, you did a great job."
Well, that's what happens with everything.
Yeah.
They do something well a couple times, and then they get more money. There's more hands in the.
Yeah.
There's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Hey, see, we need more jump scares.
Yeah, it's like nobody's ever said that. Ever.
But if you just stick to this one, it's a good watch, and we recommend it.
Yes.
And thank you for sticking around
Thank
for EFB Haunted Halloween. Next time, we are doing one more.
We have one more
haunted
for
movie.
you.
One more spooky movie.
Can we say it's more of a classic movie? I'm not going to tell you what it is,
more
but
of a
it's a more classic.
Yeah.
More classic. We're kind of we hit modern, now we're going back.
Yeah, see, we got to go back to the roots.
Yeah, of what made these movies scary.
So check us out next time.
Maybe Michael will be a skeleton again. You never know.
No. I have a different one for next time.
Well, tune in next time to see Michael in a different mask, Danielle and I in a different costume.
Something.
And stick around for the last episode.
We're gonna do another episode. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing more.
It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
100 years, EFB.
we'll see you guys next time on our Haunted Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's do the head tilt.
Scares us just thinking about it. When you hear it, you're gonna think we're insane.
Try us. Please, from the start.
But we prefer to be known simply as Ed and Loraine Warren.
Wanna play hide and laugh?
Why do bad things happen to good people? That's the real question, right? Why us?
Who's that?